if I told you that the person you're desperately trying to become already exists? That the future you, the confident one, the wise one, the creative one, isn't waiting at the end of a long road, but is standing quietly inside you right now, watching you run in circles. In the quantum world, every possibility exists at once. So maybe growth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about aligning with who you've already been all along. Not forward, not later, but now. This isn't just a poetic idea. It's a radical challenge to everything you've been taught about self-improvement. And by the end of this video, you might realize you've been running from a truth that's been inside you all along. We're not here to sell you a new version of yourself. We're here to expose the lie that there's a version of you out there that needs to be built from scratch. This video is about the illusion of growth, the idea that who you are is not a destination, but a decision. Drawing from quantum physics, Carl Jung's psychology, Alan Watts's philosophy, and ancient Eastern wisdom, we'll explore why personal development might not be about getting better, but about tuning into what's already true. If you've ever felt like no matter how much you do, you're still not enough, this is for you. Our modern culture sells growth like it's a subscription. Courses, routines, habits, programs. We are addicted to the image of the self as a ladder, a vertical climb towards success, confidence, peace. But this image is exhausting, because for every rung you climb, the ladder extends higher. You wake up earlier, you read more books, you try harder, but you never quite arrive. Why? Because the image itself is broken. When you believe you're a product to be upgraded, you live in perpetual inadequacy. You become your own unfinished business, a constant fixer-upper. And that mentality runs deep. It's the voice in your head saying, not yet, not ready, not there. But what if you flipped the entire model? What if growth wasn't a vertical climb, but a horizontal unfolding? What if instead of stepping forward, you stepped inward? Let's look at the universe. In quantum mechanics, particles don't exist in fixed states. They exist in what's called superposition, a cloud of potentialities. A particle only chooses a state when observed. Until then, it's not this or that. It's everything at once. What if the self works the same way? What if you aren't one fixed identity, slowly leveling up like a video game character? What if you're a field of selves, each one a potential waiting to be tuned into? You are confident and insecure, creative and stuck, powerful and fragile, all of it, right now. You don't become these versions. You collapse into them through intention, awareness, and alignment. Carl Jung's theory of archetypes aligns with this beautifully. You have the warrior, the child, the sage, the magician. They're not fantasies. They're templates already embedded in your psyche. The question isn't whether you can become them. The question is whether you will allow them to come forward. Imagine your selfhood like a piano. The notes already exist. The music is already within the instrument. Your job isn't to invent new keys. It's to play the ones you've been ignoring. This brings us to a crucial shift. Becoming versus aligning. Becoming says, I am not yet who I should be. It is rooted in distance, in lack. It says, one day, maybe I'll arrive. It keeps you chasing shadows. It makes every present moment feel like a waiting room. Alignment says, that version of me already exists. It brings you into the present with power. It asks you to shift the channel, not build a new transmitter. Have you ever watched yourself do something and thought, where did that come from? Maybe you stood up for yourself when you normally wouldn't. Maybe you gave the perfect advice to a friend, even though you were falling apart. Maybe you created something, a piece of writing, a piece of art, and it felt like it didn't even come from you. That was a version of you stepping forward. Not created, remembered. Not summoned, selected. This is why alignment isn't passive. It's an act of radical honesty. To align with your deeper self, you have to silence the noise of external expectations. You have to stop being busy trying to become someone else and start listening to who you already are underneath the noise. Here's the real danger of endless becoming. You will die before you arrive. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. Most people live their entire lives chasing the next version of themselves. They say, when I lose the weight, then I'll feel confident. When I get the job, then I'll be proud. When I meet the right person, then I'll be enough. And then they reach those things, and the feeling doesn't last. So they move the goalpost again and again. It's a trap that feeds on your hope and repackages your wholeness as a product. But the reality is, none of those things were ever the source. You were projecting your own power onto external events. You felt confident when you lost weight, not because you changed, but because you allowed yourself to believe you were worthy. You could have believed that yesterday. The job gave you permission to feel proud, but that pride was yours to claim all along. The illusion is that growth gives you something. The truth is, growth gives you permission to access what was already within you. Let's return to the metaphor of the seed. A seed does not look like a tree, but the tree is encoded inside it. It doesn't need to go out and find branches, roots, or fruit. It needs the right conditions, water, sunlight, soil, to unlock what is already in its DNA. You are the same. You are not a blank slate waiting to be improved. You are a fractal of the cosmos, a field of dormant archetypes, talents, and truths. Growth is not creation. It's germination. It's remembering. It's unfolding. And that unfolding is not a performance. It's not about proving anything. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about releasing everything that isn't really you. Fear, shame, conditioning, so that the real you can surface. Your higher self is not a future version. It's a frequency, and you can tune into it now. So here's the question. What are you tuning into? When you wake up, when you speak, when you create, which version of yourself are you giving the mic to? You're not on a journey to become someone. You're on a journey to remember who you've been all along. And once you see this, everything changes. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop punishing yourself for not being there yet. Because you realize you were never meant to arrive. You were meant to realize. If this video cracks something open for you, if it made you see growth not as a staircase, but as a mirror, then stay with us, subscribe, reflect, and most of all, remember, because the person you're chasing is you.